Hello everyone. Welcome to our fourth episode in our Sarali Varisai series. If you haven't been following, then I would encourage you to please check out my first three episodes. We looked at Kharaharapriya, Kalyani and Pantuvarali. If you haven't checked them out, then I will have the link down below. Not only I have sung all the Sarali Varisais from 1 to 10 in 2 speeds with the notations on the screen, so you can actually sing along with it. But also for each raga, I've given some techniques and tips to keep in mind when you're singing with Gamakams. The whole point of doing these exercises is to get really good at the Gamakams of that raga. There's no point in singing straight. Here, we are trying to address the Gamakams so that when you sing the kritis or varnams or any composition that you're learning in your classes, that just gets better and better. Some sangatis will just happen effortlessly when you come back to the basics and practice the Gamakams in the Varisais. And it has been very, very effective. I've been trying that with my own students. Even I try to sing any raga in Sarali Varisais. I make up my own Varisais and try them in the raga so that the notes just flow naturally. And then when you try even alapanas or difficult sangatis, it just becomes very, very effortless and fluid. Okay, so in this episode we are going to look at Kharaharapriya. It was one of the requests from viewers, and thank you so much for engaging with me through the videos. It means a lot to me, and I really know that there is some human out there watching these videos and finding them useful. So thank you so much. If you're new to this channel, then welcome. My name is Jayashree Nagarajan and I'm a software engineer by day, but pursue Carnatic music as a hobby. I started learning Carnatic music from the basics 10 years ago from the Sarali Varisais. In these 10 years, some amazing things have happened in my life that I just couldn't even imagine. If 10 years ago somebody told me that I'll be singing, offering some concerts, teaching kids in the community, my daughter would pick up Carnatic music as a serious hobby, I'll be hosting artists every now and then, I'll be deeply connected into Carnatic music community, I would have just laughed. All these beautiful things have happened with the grace of my gurus. When I started as a beginner, I thought it was too late for me to start, but looking at how much progress can be done in just a matter of few years really gave me a motivation to actually go and inspire others, and that's really been the reason for starting this channel, because I hear so many people come to me and say, how did you start, and did you get initiated when you were a child? Is it too late for me to start? Oh, I don't have a musical background, and so many other mental blocks they have. And this is for all those of you who are starting out in this journey. No matter what age you're in, it's a beautiful thing you have done, and if not, then just find a guru near you and start it. Best day was probably 20 years ago or 10 years ago, but the second best day is today. So with that, welcome to the channel, and I really hope that the videos that I make are truly educational for you, even if you're learning with a guru or just self-taught. I'm hoping to distill down the most complex concepts in Carnatic music and make it really easy and approachable. So welcome. So the Arohanam and Avarohanam for Kharaharapriya goes like this. Sari ga ma pada ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Again. Sari ga ma pada ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. I've learned 2 kritis in this, really, not much. But Kharaharapriya is a beautiful raga for raga elaborations. I love the alapanas in Kharaharapriya. I would highly encourage you to listen to alapanas in Kharaharapriya. It's very, very soul touching. The kritis I know are the Okapari Kokapari by Namacharya. Okapari Kokapari Vaiyaramai, sung by the famous MS Amma, MS Subbalakshmi, as we all know her. I've heard this song from my young age. So it's been a very dear song for me. The other one that I learned from my guru is Samanamevaru by Sri Saint Tyagaraja. Samanamevaru Ramani Samanamevaru. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. It's a very famous song. Comment below if you have heard these songs or if you know any other song in this raga. I'd love to learn. So now I'm going to go through all the Sarali Varisais from 1 to 10 in 2 speeds, switching between first speed and second speed. Sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari 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 ga ma sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni sa ni sa ni da pa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari 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 ga ma sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni sa ni da pa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga sari ga sari sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da sa ni da sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga sari ga sari sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da sa ni da sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma sari ga ma sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa sa ni da pa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma sari ga ma sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa sa ni da pa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa sari sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa sari sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa da sari sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa da sari sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa da ni sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa da ni sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sari ga ma pa ma ga re sari ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa ma ga re sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa ma da pa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa ma da pa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa ga ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa. Sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa. Sa ni da pa da pa ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma pa ga ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ga ma pa da pa da ma pa da ni da pa ma pa da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma ga re sa. Sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma ga re sa. Sa ni da pa da pa ma pa ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da ma pa da ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da pa ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So that was the whole drill from 1 to 10 in 2 speeds. Actually, Kharaharapriya is a lot simpler to tackle in Sarali Varisais compared to other ragas which we have just covered, like Pantavarali, even Shankarabharanam, where the Gamakams are very contextual, like especially in Shankarabharanam, how you sing Ma and Ga. There are certain aspects that need to be kept in mind. If you are interested in learning more about them, then definitely check those out. When it comes to Kharaharapriya, the only few things to keep in mind are that the notes are Sa Re, the higher Re, we say Re 2 or Chatushruti Rishabham, right? Sa Re, the Re is in Maya Malagura, that is not the one we are using. Sa Re, Ga. So that Ga is the lower Ga, okay? So Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da is a higher Da, Chatushruti Daivatam, Da 2. Pa Da Ni Sa, the lower Ni. So it's very symmetrical that way. high, you can think of high re, low ga, high da, low ni. So it's a very symmetrical raga in that sense. The other thing to keep in mind is when you have the higher da and lower ni, then the da doesn't have a scope to move. So you keep it plain. Pada ni sa, ni is moved because there is space between the low ni and the high sa. Okay, there's a big space. Ni sa, ni sa, ni sa, ni sa, ni sa. That's fine. But the da, there is no, it's ni is so close to da that pa, pa, da, you can't do that. You're already crossing the ni and going to sa, right? For example, in Mohanam, you can do pa, da, sa, right? But here, it doesn't make sense. So this was something my guru actually explained this to me. When I learned about this, it actually made sense. I started thinking about all the ragas which has the Chaturshruti Dhaivatam, which is Da2, and Kakali Nishadam or Kaishiki Nishadam, how they behave. So it was very interesting to me. I always think that the swarams in Indian ragas behave like just people. You know, when my mom is around or my dad is around, I will behave in a certain way. But if my boss is around me, I'll behave a completely different way. Whereas if I have a child in front of me or my daughter is here, I'll be a totally different person, right? So similarly, the same swaras have such a different personality when you bring another swaram close to it. So the same da can behave differently when you have Kaishiki Nishadam next to it or Panchamam next to it versus Kakali Nishadam next to it. So, and so on and so forth. I mean, there are the Gandharam, all the notes other than Shadjam and Panchamam, the Sa and Pa, which are the anchors or pillars in our music. Other than these two swarams, all the other swarams will behave in a certain way depending on what are the neighboring notes around it. Okay, this is very, very important distinction in Indian classical music. Same in Hindustani, more so in Carnatic music. You can even think of Gamakams as individual complex swarams in itself. So the plain note rarely has any meaning. You know, there are some exceptions, of course. There are some ragas where the note is held plain, for example, Ga in Shankarabaranam. But you know, the underlying fabric is built around Gamakams. How interesting it is that the sound of a swaram is so different and the personality is so different based on what is nearby. So that's the only thing that comes to my mind when it comes to Kharaharapriya. It's a very straightforward ragam in terms of just the Arohanam and Avarohanam, but of course it's a major raga, and when you want to explore it in Manodharmam aspects like improvising alapanas and swarams and whatnot, it has a lot of scope. Just like Shankarabaranam, Kalyani, all these major ragas, Kharaharapriya is equally deep raga in that sense. So definitely practice the Sarali Varisais, but also go back and listen to older recordings of stalwart musicians. We really want to get it from the sources. Decades ago, these older artists and vidwans established in Carnatic music industry have explored them in so much depth that some of these alapanas are really treasures. So I would encourage to just listen. Don't try to sing along with it. Just passively listen to it when you're working, when you're cooking, when you're driving. Just listen passively, and then when you're ready to do the Varisais, just try it. I assure you, you'll automatically get it. You don't have to even put your mind to what Gamakams to sing and what not. It'll just come to you. That's the power of listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. By the way, I forgot to mention a similar raga, but a completely different raga at the same time, similar in terms of the swarams in it, is Bhairavi. There is a foreign note here, which is the Shuddha Daivatam, the Da one, the lower Da. Sa ga re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. That's a very interesting raga to explore. We can even try Sarali Varisais in that. So if you want, we can explore that in the next video. Hit me a comment below if you would want me to sing Sarali Varisais in Bhairavi. I'd be more than happy, and there are a lot of things to keep in mind here, because how the Daivatam shifts between the A1 and the A2 is different in Bhairavi. So with that in mind, you have to sing Sarali Varisais. So it's going to be a little bit, I wouldn't say difficult, but you have to be a little conscious about it, that's it. I hope you enjoy this video, and again, I keep insisting this in every single one of my videos where I demonstrate certain things. Please do not consume this passively. It's not going to work that way. I promise you, there are so many better production videos that you can watch and amuse yourself. This video is not meant for that. This is really meant for you to actually sit down and practice. So I will have chapters in the description. So if you want to skip my talking and just want to get straight to Sarali Varisai, then please be my guest and do that. Rewatch a few times and just, skip to that timestamp and sing along until you become very familiar with it. That's how you can benefit from these things. Hope your practices are going well. We will meet in our next video. Until then, thank you so much.